Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Rakakwata. Shalom to the 144,000 rest of you looked up there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm gonna entitle this video. I asked the chat, what's the GMS Israelites take? This is my first question to chat. Israel chapter 60, meaning. Then I followed up with, what's the GMS Israelites take, of course, on Isaiah 60. And I will go through Isaiah 60 in a blue letter. I may let you hear it. I may read it. I may do both. So it says here, Isaiah 60, chapter 60, meaning Isaiah 60 is a powerful prophetic chapter about restoration for who? The Israelites. Light for who? Israel. God's glory filling Zion, Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Sometimes you come across the word Jerusalem and it means the actual city. And other times, depending on the context, it's talking about the Israelites. You know, in Revelation 21, when John saw the new Jerusalem coming from heaven, that was the Israelites coming back. He saw it was a ship, you know, that came after we were delivered. We're going to be overhead of America. We're not going to be over Africa looking down. We're going to be over Babylon the Great looking down. So we're going to hover over the Babylon the Great, and we're going to see it burn up. We're going to see people burning too. That devastation. That's going to scare us. You can thank Nero Redivivos because he's gonna usher in this destruction. Because of their pride, they don't think they can ever be defeated. They don't know how to lose. Well, you're going to learn on that day. Anyway, it says it speaks both to Israel's hope after darkness, and especially in Christian interpretation, to the Lord's wider redemptive plan for the nations. But this is really is, you know, the Lord is coming for Israel, but the other nations, they're gonna be good too. Nope. I don't even want to read this. It's just such a, oh my goodness. Okay, here's a clear breakdown of its meaning when Isaiah 60 was written in the time when Israel, or the Israelites, mainly Judah, but Israel, you know, Judah, had experienced devastation in exile. Jerusalem lay in ruins. Yeah, there was the Babylonians and the Edomites that destroyed the second temple, and the people felt abandoned. This chapter answers that desperate despair with a vision of future glory, where the Most High Himself restores and honors His people, which are the Israelites. So now you got a thing called supersessionism, replacement theology. Key theme: light overcoming darkness. Meaning, when the Most High restores His people, which they believe are any nation, their transformation becomes a witness to others. The nations coming to Zion, sons and daughters return home, wealth, ships, and resources from distant lands flow to Jerusalem. This imagery shows reversal. They're right on that. The super rich among these other nations, we're going to get all their we're going to take everything that they got. Once plundered, Zion now receives honor, meaning the Lord's restoration is complete and public. Gentile nations are no longer enemies but participants in the Most High's plan. Oh no, we here to help you. No, we cool. No, whatever you. No, you're going into captivity. I'm gonna ask. Another question I'm gonna ask is Isaiah 14:1 and 2, or Isaiah 14 and 2. Oh, the strangers in Isaiah 14 and 1 are talking about Israelite, referring to Israelites, rebuilding and honoring instead of shame. Now this is justice, right? Justice does not merely punish, it restores dignity. Okay, it goes into Jewish and Christian interpretations. Jewish understanding, a vision of Messianic age, Jerusalem, where Israel is exalted among nations under the Most High's rule. Yeah, we are the Israelites. Bottom line is, Israel's going to be on top. All the other nations are going to be under us in the form of vassals and serfs. Which is going to be a feudal society. Christian understanding fulfilled in the Messiah as the light of the world. John 8 and 12. The nations coming to the light points to the inclusion of Gentiles. Yeah, they're going to be included in working out in the field and building things with our foots up in their ass, lodged up in their asses. Echoed in Revelation 21. Well, that's for Revelation 21. Those blessings are for Israel only, not the other nations. Where the Most High's glory lights the new Jerusalem, which are the Israelites. Core message of Isaiah 60: the Most High's glory overcomes darkness. Restoration following suffering. Right, for who? Restoration for Israel following the suffering that we're suffering even to this day. The Most High's people are meant to shine, not hide. The Most High salvation is global, not limited to one nation. Well, that's bullshit. So now, so it says here, what's the GMS Israelites take? GMS, Great Millstone Israelites interpret Isaiah 60 very differently from the mainstream Jewish or Christian views. Below is a descriptive, not endorsing explanation of their teaching, so you understand what they mean and how it contrasts with others. And the way we break it down is the right way. The way we interpret it is the correct way to interpret it. Core GMS framework, important for understanding their take. GMS teaches that so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native American peoples are the true biblical Israelites. So-called white Europeans are Edomites. Christianity, as commonly taught, is false. Salvation is racially limited to Israelites, and that's in the scriptures, Old and New Testament. Other nations exist only to serve. That's a nice buttery way of saying slavery. Serve, slave, serve as slaves. Other nations exist only to serve Israel in the kingdom. This framework heavily shapes how they read Isaiah. Yeah, because they're reading it wrong. They're breaking it down wrong. GMS interpretation of Isaiah 60. Israelites awakening to identity. And that's when we go out there in the highways and byways, you do these videos that a lot of people are upset. Yeah, there's one video that was put up by the elder out of South Carolina, Manat Zakba. He had this one guy, he had the white t-shirt on, the fancy little nice dressy shirt on, talking about, don't call me, I'm not no Israelite. No, I'm a Christian, this, that. Like they're offended at the fact that we're telling them that they're Israelites. Well, guess what? You're going to have to be offended. We're going to tell you that you're Israelites. But if you tell me I don't want to know them, I said, okay, good. Okay. I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to somebody else because you're not one of the elect. It says Israelites. I should even go to that because Jake is offended that they offended that we're telling them that they're the Israelites and they're the Israelites. You can't make this stuff up. It says Isaiah 60 verse 1 is taught as Israelites waking up to knowledge that they are the Most High's chosen people, and that's happening. That's all throughout the scriptures. Immediate scripture that come to mind is Ezekiel 37. The whole chapter. Light, Hebrew Israelite truth. Darkness, ignorance caused by slavery, colonialism, and Christianity, and Stockholm syndrome. For GMS, this chapter is not spiritual encouragement, it's national awakening. Right, it's national awakening. Well, this is not an ethnic thing. You know, these guys, these Christians. Yes, it is an ethnic thing. The only way these blessings apply to you is if you're an Israelite. You got to qualify to get these blessings, to qualify to be on top in the kingdom, to qualify to be a kingdom of, as a nation, a kingdom of priests. You have to be an Israelite. You can't be an Edomite and be a priest or king or part of a kingdom of priests. This shall not be left unto other people. What is that? Daniel 2 verse 40 on down. It shall not be left to other people, other nations. It's only for Israel. The coming kingdom, the rulers of the coming kingdom, which all the men are kings, every last one of them. Every son that you have, if you have 20,000 sons and 20,000 daughters, they will all, the sons will be princes. And you will forever be subjects. Except for Esau, you will be subjects until we, liquidate you. Well, set your ass on fire, pursuant to Obadiah 1:18. It said the nations coming to Israel equals literal submission. Yep, slavery. They're going to be forced. Isaiah 60 verses 3 to 5, 10 to 14 is taken very literally. And we're going to listen to it. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to let you listen to it on the blue letter. Other nations will come physically and politically to Israel. They bring wealth, labor, and tribute. The Romans ruled by way of tribute, which is a feudal society. We ain't gonna give you a hard time if you're paying us tribute. Former oppressors will bow before Israelites. And that's the meaning of the word blessing. Barak the Hebrew word barak. When you look that word up, if you go to Genesis, it says, and through Abraham, through thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. All the families of the earth being blessed are the families of Israel. Because the word blessing, barak, means for somebody to bow down to you. So the nations are not going to be blessed. We are going to be blessed. They're going to bow down to us. This is taught as future global hierarchy. That's a rank and file, not symbolic reconciliation. Well, reconciliation, when you look that word up, and that's also mentioned in the New Testament. Matter of fact, let me put in reconciliation. So you hearing this nonsense, there's a new demon. The Gentiles can make it too demon. And all those guys that's teaching that, the Most High is going to deal with every last one of them. Whether some of them are sincere. I believe some of them are sincere about it. Like Zion Lex, I believe he sincerely believes that. What's this guy? Divine Prospect. Well, he came up, he told you that, the video that he did last night. He tells you that he spent X amount of years in a theological seminary. So he started off as a Christian, then became an Israelite. But he's saying that nations can make it. He says the Old Testament, nope, it's all about Israel. But in the New Testament, the nations are, no. If you understood the New Testament, you would know that those Gentiles that will receive blessings and salvation are Israelites that are being labeled Gentiles by Israelites that came up, born, the male child circumcised on the 8th day type of thing. Okay, what did I say I was going to do? I said reconciliation. Let me put in reconciliation, and I put in reconcile. Reconciliation. Reconciliation. 8 times. I want the New Testament. Okay, I might want to look up the word reconcile. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 18. And all things of the Most High, who hath reconciled us to himself by the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach, and have given to us the mystery of reconciliation. So now let's look up the word. We don't got to read these. No, but I want to read this too. The 19th verse. We're going to look up the word reconciliation. And it doesn't apply to any nation, but the nation, any of the other nations outside of Israel. Reconciliation only applies to the Israelites. To wit, that the Most High was in the Messiah reconciling the world, which are the Israelites, unto himself, not imputing their trespasses. What is a trespass? When you break the law. What nation received the law? The Israelites. So it's talking about Israelites. Unto them, and hath committed unto us the word of reconciliation. Hebrews 2 verse 17. Wherefore in all things it behooves him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest. That's talking about the Messiah. He's a high priest under the what? The order of Melchizedek. Melchizedek is the Messiah. What is it? Pre-incarnation. In a past life. And things pertaining to the Most High, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. What people? The Israelites. So let's look up the word and a reconciliation. Let's see what the Greek word is for reconciliation. Reconciliation. Give it a minute. Okay, this is the Greek word.
Strong's G 2433. Hilaskomai. Hilaskomai.
Play it again.
Strong's G 2433. Hilaskomai. Hilaskomai.
Okay, what does it mean? To render oneself, to appear, conciliate. To oneself, to become propitious, be placated, or appeased, to be perpetuous, be gracious, be merciful, to expiate, make propitiation. Let me look at some of these precepts here. Reconcile. It doesn't give you the root, you know? It does it. Let me look at the root of the word. We know what it means in English, right? You have your woman, y'all love each other, y'all break up, you listen to the same, your favorite song, then you get back together, one calls the other one swallows their pride, then they, oh, I miss you, baby, let's get back. That's reconciliation. So who's going to be reconciled back to the Most High? The Israelites. That's what the book of Romans 9 is all about. Reconcile. Give me a second here. Definition. Restore friendly relationships between. Restore. You were friends, you became enemies, you became friends again. She wanted to reconcile with the father. What's the only nation that can receive reconciliation from the father are the Israelites. Because we were friends to the power. We were the sons of the power, the great power. So you can't apply this to other nations. It says this is taught as future global hierarchy, not symbolic reconciliation. Foreigners shall build up thy walls, equal enforced servitude or enforced slavery. Isaiah 60 verse 10 is interpreted as non-Israelite nations will rebuild Israel by what? Enforced slavery or servitude. They don't do it, they get beat, they get the hell beat out of them and they get put to death. This is often framed as forced labor or slavery, not voluntary worship. Then they're not going to volunteer. They're going to do what we tell them to do. They don't like it, they're going to get the hell beat out of them. And some of them will be put to death. And it will be an example. Oh, your father don't want to do it. He's proud. He's still got that Edomite pride in him. Okay, we're gonna beat him. We're gonna take him out. And the son, you'll get the message. You're gonna try us when we come down at them ships with that spiritual power. You know, you're gonna try us, and we're gonna have fun fucking you up. And then you're gonna realize, look, we can't defeat these people. And the angels, they're going to have fun. That's going to be a party for them when they go up against your technology, your weak-ass technology. That weak-ass argument, oh, some Gentiles are going to make it too. They're going to receive these two types of salvation. No, there's one type of salvation. That's for the Israelites. Well, there's two types. You got the elect that's going to be saved, and then you got the rest of Israel that's going to come in. So you can say it that way. But none of these nations are going to be delivered. Okay, I'm right here. This is often framed as forced labor, not voluntary worship. And they're going to worship us too. They're going to bow down to us. Especially applied to Europeans and Arabs. No, it's talking about all of them. You got a list of some of the nations in Psalms. What is that? Psalms 83? Psalms 83. The first on the list is the Edomites. Second is the Arabs. Then you got the rest of these nations. Even the ones that didn't enslave us, the smaller nations that didn't have power over us, they're going into captivity too. They're not going to get it as bad as the Edomites. The Edomites are going to be serfs. They're going to be on the bottom. This is one of the most controversial elements of their teaching. GMS rejects the idea that Gentiles are saved. Right, the natural Gentiles. I call them unnatural Gentiles. GMS, read again. No universal salvation. Unlike Christianity, fake Christianity, GMS rejects the idea that Gentiles are saved or will be saved. Nations in Isaiah 60 are not co-heirs but subjects or slaves. Let's use a stronger word, slaves. Peace exists only under Israel's dominance, domain, lordship. They often cite Isaiah 60 verse 12, for the nation and kingdom that will not be slaves to thee shall perish. What does the word perish mean? You know what? I'm going to look that word up. This is read as violent judgment, not moral accountability. Now, we're not going to smack them on the wrist. We're not going to beat them with a wet noodle. All right? Let me look up the word perish. Okay? Give me a second. Isaiah 60 verse 12. Isaiah 60, verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So let's pull out some words here. Nations is Gawaya or Gawayim. Nations, Gawayim, which are nations. Sometimes when you come across the word Gawaya or nation, it can refer to Israel and or another nation. So it depends upon the context. Okay, serve, abad, the nation that will not serve us, abad, labor, work, to compel, to labor or work, cause a labor, cause to serve. This is slavery. Serve thee shall perish. Let's look up the word perish. H6. Ibad. Perish, vanish, go astray, to destroy. They will be destroyed. Exterminated. To destroy, kill, cause to perish, to give up. Exterminate, to blot out, do away with, cause to vanish. And that's what's going to happen to the Edomites. They're going to vanish. They're going to disappear in a puff of smoke from that fire. They're going to be set on fire. So it's not gonna end well for you devils. It'll be a little bit better for you other nations because you're not gonna destroy. You're not gonna be totally destroyed. Anyway, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me go to Isaiah. Let me go to Isaiah 14:2. Let me do this. What's the GMS Israelites take on Isaiah 14:2. Below is a neutral explanatory summary of how GMS Great Millstone Israelites interpret Isaiah 14:2 without endorsing it. This verse is one of their key proof texts. So their reading is very firm and literal. Very firm and literal. When we had yokes of iron put upon our necks, that was very firm and literal. We were literally put on slave ships. We literally worked out in the fields. Our women were literally taken away from us. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel, the Israelites, this is when the two kingdoms come together. The two kingdoms come together in verse 1. Shall possess them. Possess who? The nations. Shall possess them and the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. GMS interpretation, literal reversal of slavery. GMS teaches that this verse predicts a future literal reversal of historical slavery. When it says reversals, if you enslaved us, we're gonna put you in slavery. We're gonna reverse the roles. Literal future. Future literal reversal. You know what? Let me do this. Reversal of slavery. Let's look at that word. Reversal of slavery. Means we're gonna get your woman too. You Israelites that don't want no Edomite women, slide them over to me. Them Hawaiian women. We're gonna any woman we want, we can gonna get. We're gonna be living. We're gonna be living, baby. Reversal of slavery means. See, the office of ending, get rid of the institutional legal, No, reversal of slavery, yes, means to be free, but to enslave the other people that enslaved you. The proper judgment for somebody that enslaved you. Okay, they now to give me the proper judgment for somebody that enslaved you. See, they're going into all the proper judgment for somebody that enslaved you is to enslave them. Come on back over here. Literal reversal of slavery. Reversal of slavery is not to free the slaves, it's to enslave the people that enslaved you. If nation A enslaved nation B, the proper judgment is nation B to enslave nation A. Or I can say nation E enslaves nation I. See, they frayed, man. They frayed. That's why that devil Tucker Carlson said, "But why am I going into slavery? But why am I? So I have no hope. If you're an Edomite," I said, "If you're," I came out. I said, "If you're an Edomite, you're going into captivity." He said, "There's no hope for me." That really hurt him to the heart. He remembered that. He got nightmares. It says GMS teaches that this verse predicts a future literal reversal of historical slavery. What is a reversal? They enslave you, you get a chance to slave them. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, life for life, burning for burning, death for death, right? What is that? Exodus 21:16 shall be put to death. And that's among Israel. If you enslaved another Israelite against their will, you get put to death. It said, they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, Israelites, as they define them, so-called black, Hispanic, Native Americans, will enslave their former enslavers. That's why they want to get this out the history books. They shall take them captives they were, Israelites. They shall, as they define them, so-called black and Native. I read that former enslavers rule over their oppressors, political, military, and economic dominance by Israelites in the coming kingdom. They reject symbolic or spiritual readings here. Esau is a literal person. He ain't a spiritual person. He's not spiritual. But now we got to put you in spiritual captivity. No, we're just going to look at you sideways. We're just going to give you dirty looks. No, we're going to put a dirty boot in your grill. Who are the oppressors? According to GMS, Edomites. Well, that's all throughout the scriptures. They were fighting in the womb, Jacob and Esau. So Esau was trying to, the baby Esau was trying to oppress the baby Jacob, and Jacob was trying to oppress him. Edomites. Hey, Rebecca couldn't get no sleep. There was so much fighting going on. There were two opposing spirits, righteous spirit and a wicked spirit, whom they identify primarily with so-called white Europeans are the main target. The main target. They're the number one slaves. Other non-Israelite nations are also included. Yep, that's correct. Modern system, America, Europe, are viewed as end-time Babylon. Actually, America. Europe is going to watch it burn. So Isaiah 14:2 is taught as racially and nationally specific. Absolutely. Absolutely. 3, servants and handmaids. Chattel slavery. Chattel slavery. Look up the word chattel slavery. And when they come out with a slave movie, man, Jake, they be going in there, they be watching that. They make it a point to watch that movie. Oh, I gotta watch this movie. And Esau make it a point to watch that movie too. Okay, chattel slavery. Definition. Chattel slavery is a brutal system where people are treated as personal property, chattels. They can be brought, sold, inherited, and exploited for labor. That's what we're gonna do to y'all. With enslaved individuals having no rights and their children automatically becoming property. So we're going to have auction blocks in the kingdom too. A system most famously seen in the Americas via when you talk about slavery, what comes up? America and the transatlantic slave trade. We're going to look into that. Where Africans, which are Israelites, were dehumanized as commodities. You know what a commodity is? Gold, silver, lumber, pork bellies, coal, palladium, platinum, iron, plastic. These are commodities, man. Unlike other forms of servitude, chattel slavery made bondage hereditary. Yeah, because in our kingdom, your sons, after you serve slavery, you get old and die, your sons are going to serve, your sons and your daughters are going to serve slavery. And a lot of your daughters, the pretty ones, are going to be concubines. So we're going to have fun in the kingdom. Like the song says, we'll have fun, fun, fun till my daddy takes the T-bird away. And my daddy ain't taking the T-bird away. I think that was the Beach Boys. Them demons. Anyway, via transatlantic slave trade, where Africans were dehumanized as commodities. Under the Constitution, they don't even recognize you to be a man. Unlike other forms of servitude, chattel, like you guys teaching that the other nation, they gonna be, they can be saved too. They ain't gonna go in there, not all of them they gonna go in the captivity. Some of them are gonna go into captivity, but we're gonna be nice to them. My response to you is the same response that Nick Rockefeller gave to Aaron Russo. He said, well, why are you doing this to these people? Nick said, why do you care? So that's our same attitude. That's called a ruling class mentality. We're going to go into that too. All right? Chattel slavery made bondage hereditary from the father to the son, from the son to his son, and lifelong stripping people of their freedom and family ties because they broke up families. You think they're not going to pay for that shit? For economic gain, because they did it for gain, because we were a commodity. A practice heavily reliant on racism to justify treating humans as livestock or furniture. And they actually took your skin and made furniture and stuff out of skin. They were eating you too. There's a book entitled The Delectable Negro. If you look it up, there was certain slave masters that cooked their slaves and ate them. But these are righteous fucking people. Get the fuck out of here, man. The walls are closing in on Nero Redivivos. So let's come back over here. I know I went a little long. Servants and handmaids, chattel slavery. This is not metaphorical service or peaceful coexistence. Absolutely not. You didn't peacefully coexist with us. It is forced servitude, often described in modern terms as slavery. They argue it is just recompense. Yes, payback. Payback is a bitch. Under divine judgment. This is why the verse is frequently quoted in street preaching. Right, connection to Isaiah 60 and other passages. Right, beautiful. Psalms Psalms 149, binding kings with change. Isaiah 60, verse 10 to 14, foreigners shall build up thy walls. Revelation 13 and 10, he that leadeth into captivity. No universal salvation. Nations will not be saved. Only Israelites, and then only the elect of Israel will be saved. Non-Israelites are not redeemed. Obedience comes through subjugation. Peace exists because Israel rules with absolute authority, and we're going to rule with the scepter. We're going to rule with the scepter. The rod, Psalms 2 and Revelation 2, verse 25 and 26. Isaiah 14, 2 is foundational for this belief. Right, how this differs from mainstream interpretation, aspect, mainstream Jewish Christianity, poetic, prophetic, strictly literal, servants, political subjugation or metaphor, actual slavery, justice, restoration, not revenge. Don't be hard on us. GMS view, retributive domination. Scope, ancient empires, typology, modern racial groups. Okay? So anyway, let me go ahead and just let you hear this. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
It is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about, and see. All they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah.
The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. Everything that they got, we're going to take. That's ours. We're going to own you and what you got. You're going to be working out there in the farms, but you're going to be paying tribute. And if we need you to do anything, you're going to do what we tell you to do. But y'all will be... It's not going to be that much different from the Roman Empire. When the Romans took over those nations and set up that Roman Empire, if you pay them a tribute, they leave you alone. But if they wanted to, they can fuck you up. They can take your sons and make them gladiators, which were actual slaves.
All they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall shew forth the praises of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister.
The sons of strangers are other nations.
Unto thee, for in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day or night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
Right, you have gates that are shut and open for the riches to come in. Then you're going to have another group of gates that's in Ezekiel 43, 46, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to go to it, where the gates will be open for the for the Sabbath and the high holy days. The gates that are open for the riches on those high holy days, those gates for the forces of the Gentiles to come in, those gates will be closed because no payment's going to be made on the high holy days, but they'll be open the rest of the week.
And that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those.
If they protest, they're gonna get fucked up. A lot of them gonna get put to death, and then they'll finally get the message.
Nation shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious.
The place of the Most High's feet glorious is what? The earth. It said, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. So when it says I'm gonna make the place of my feet glorious, he's gonna redo the earth. And the earth is gonna expand. Isaiah 54. First couple of verses.
Sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee.
Bending unto thee. Bending unto thee. That means bow down. And that's the definition of the word bless, Barak. Like I said, it said of thy seed, Abraham, I'm merely paraphrasing, shall all the families of the earth be blessed. All the families of the earth being blessed are the Israelites. And like I said, the word bless means for somebody to bow down to you. Let me bring that back. Then we're gonna be done.
Shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place
That's
of
all commodities.
my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the
That means
soles
all of them. All of them are going to be up under us.
of thy feet. And they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many nations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I...
That means we're going to take what they got. We're going to take what they got.
The Lord am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the Mighty One of Jacob. For brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness.
No more YNs. We're going to get rid of them. All them YNs, the missiles are going to get rid of them.
Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction.
Like I said, no more YNs.
Within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee.
Now don't get stupid and say, we ain't going to have no sun and no moon. How you going to count the days, dumbass? It's talking about the ultimate light is going to come from the Most High. It's prophetic talk.
Lasting
poetic talk, excuse me.
And thy God thy glory. The sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, for the Lord shall be thine...
The sun shall never go down, meaning your kingdom is not going to end. It's going to be an everlasting kingdom.
Everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever.
No ends in the kingdom.
And shall my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his...
That's talking about an average Israelite man is going to have thousands of children because he's going to have many, many wives. Every Hebrew Israelite man will have at least 1,000 women. And that would include concubines too. And you're going to have babies with all of them. And and every woman that you get, they're going to be virgins. They're going to be untouched. They're going to be untouched. And there ain't going to be no diseases because women are not going to be sleeping around with other men. That's just not going to happen. So we're gonna be living good, and we're gonna remember. It's gonna be fresh in our minds what Esau does to us, and they're gonna be on the fucking bottom, bro. They're gonna be on the bottom.
It's time. To build the old wastes, they shall raise up the former desolations.
Wait a minute. I don't want to go into this. But anyway, Shalom, on to the next.